Okay, the off limits situation is very confusing to some people, I'm assuming. What I'm having a hard time understanding is it's not a huge change. Everybody keeps coming up with this, oh, the kids are going to fish less and they're going to do that. Now, that's not my goal at all. In fact, I want the kids fishing. In fact, not only do I want them fishing, I want them fishing with their parents and with their captains. Hopefully, if their parents are their captains. Some of them, the parents don't fish. So, people are saying, well, they're not going to get to fish on the weekend. We got people that shift work and things like that. That's why we basically said that, on the weekend before, when kids are out of school, understand that. They're supposed to be in school during the week, okay? So, on the weekends, we're allowing both of the primary and secondary captain to fish with them, okay? Now, one thing, they can take 2 boats out that weekend if that's what they want to do, as long as they have 1 angler in the boat with them. So 2 anglers, you can take 2 boats. I don't have a problem with that. I know some of y'all may have a problem with that, but I don't. I want these kids fishing. If one wants to go with one dad, one wants to go to the other, one wants to go with the captain, the other one wants to go with his dad who's a captain, I don't have a problem with that. I think y'all are really misunderstanding. I agree, it's not that complicated, but yet we've got people out there who are spreading stuff that is not the truth. We've got people griping about the rule that haven't even read the rule. So that's why I'm here today. I'm here right now. I was not going to do another live, but I'm here right now to tell y'all what the deal is. So from the no information off limits, let's understand that that's information. It doesn't mean the captain can't fish by himself. It doesn't mean the anglers, if the parents want them to, can't fish by themselves up until official practice day. It just means that you can't fish with someone who's not registered in the tournament. Okay? That's it. Now, we are allowing 1 person who's not registered in the tournament, and that's the second captain, whether it's the primary that didn't get to fish or the secondary captain. Most people have 1 captain. That captain has to take vacation, has to do everything that has to happen to make this go, okay? So understand that. So if you're trying to tell me that the kids are going to fish less when they've got 2 adults they can fish with the weekend before, they're in school the rest of the time, or if they're not in school and their parents let them go fish, that's up to them. But, chances are somebody in South Louisiana is not going to go to the Red River and fish in the afternoons or whenever, okay? So you can get mad at me all you want to. I mean, it is what it is. It's a very disturbing thing that some of the things people say. The majority of the people like this. Y'all can chime in if you want to. That's fine. If you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it, because there's a good chance you don't understand it. So during both weeks, from the 10-day mark until official practice day, and including official practice day, the registered captain can fish by himself or herself. Okay? All the way through official practice day, because sometimes the kids can't get out of school. So what's any different than what we've done in the past? The thing that so here's the alternative. Somebody can take out 3 of his buddies and fish all week long, take a vacation, who has a lot of vacation time, can take them out and pre-fish and eliminate water for a team. That's the alternative to this. The other alternative to this, which is something I don't want to do, is an off limits, because that keeps the anglers and the captains off the water. We're trying to encourage being on the water more, fishing. Okay? That's what we're trying to accomplish. It is off limits for the moms. And the reason being, you got to understand, when we start trying to write a rule and we include other people, we have to think, okay, so who could that be? Exactly. This is a kid tournament. Who said that? Craig, thank you. It is. And okay, so let's say that we say, okay, well, the moms can go, okay? And I understand. I'm just trying to answer your question and kind of get y'all in the mindset that we get in. Because I have to say, okay, well, what if that team, the mom is a fisherwoman, okay? And she gets to go out. So then we start getting into all these gray areas. We tried to write a rule that was black and white, where y'all could, start and stop. If we start trying to go through a hierarchy of who could be in that boat, that's when we get into problems, okay? The last thing we want is for kids not to be able to fish. I know I've said that before. So all these people that are saying that, you're wrong. I mean, we're not stopping the kids from fishing at all. And the people who are on shift work, they're off every other weekend. So one way or the other, they probably weren't going to get to fish anyway. Yeah, the other dad or the other captain, who's probably, if they're on the same schedule, then they weren't going to get to fish anyway. If the two captains are on the same shift work schedule, they're not going to get to fish anyway. See, we've thought through all these things. All these things have been thought through. So, this was all thought up. And some of y'all are taking what we did on the live as to be the rule. We didn't cover everything on the live, that how the rule was written. So if that's what you're basing what you think on the live we did, you need to go back and read the rules. Because the rule states everything as written. And I went on this morning and I put in there, we don't want to stop our head coaches from these teams from talking to these kids what we want to do. So we're going to allow that. Now what we don't want is for that coach to go out and gather information from somebody else. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go over this. From the 10-day mark, anybody registered in the tournament, the captain can fish alone. The captain can fish with one angler. The captain can fish with two anglers. Starting on Saturday morning of the weekend before the tournament, both captains can fish. Okay, as long as they have someone. That's interesting. Somebody is trying to get me to help get scholarships for people right now. Just had a college just email me right now. So they watching what we're doing, people. These colleges ask for this. They want it. They want to see who's doing stuff. These anglers, this is about them. And the problem with these colleges right now is they can't get anglers. They don't know when dads and teams of people are going out and scouting for these fish. This is not about winning. This is about going out here having a good time and doing the best you can. And then if it takes you somewhere on your skill, your hard work and all that, then that means something, okay? That means something, all right? It means something to these colleges. If we can keep these things, ethical and all those things, these colleges can figure out. Bassmaster's having a combine. They're having a combine because they're trying to figure out, they're trying to separate these kids from these situations that we're talking about right now, okay? I want y'all to understand this. I talk to these colleges constantly, and I know what they're asking for, and I'm trying to help your kids. And I'm trying to help them know that when they get to the next level, if that's what they want to do, you're going to have to take polygraph tests, and you're going to have off limits, and you're going to have those things. I do not want to put an off limits on this. I understand we've got captains that are going to go out and fish without their teams, and that's going to happen, okay? That's going to happen. That whether you feel that's ethics, the proper ethics or not is up to you. But in my conscience, I want this organization to be on an even keel, on an even playing field, okay? I want these kids fishing every chance they get. That's why we included the second captain in the weekend before, okay? That was already written before y'all gave any input on the live. So understand that. We already thought through all those scenarios that y'all brought up. So you need to give me a chance to prove to y'all that this is the right thing to do. And understand, 95% of you are very supportive of this, okay? We want this to be about these kids and about them getting on the water with their captains and their parents, okay? I understand sometimes a parent's not a captain. I can't help that. We're giving you two captains that can fish the weekend before. That's when the kids are out of school. So there you go. Now, I'm going to open myself up for questions here. And I know I sound passionate about this because, it's a subject that people are commenting on and saying things to me, and the things they're saying don't even reflect what the rule says. So I'm trying to figure it out, okay? So I'm trying to figure it out. Y'all share this on your team pages so everybody understands what the rule is. If y'all want me to go back over it again, I will. I'll tell you everything from the first day of the off limits all the way through tournament day. But the only thing we're asking is that you don't get somebody outside this registration and this tournament to give you information. We want you and your team to go out and fish and compete against the rest of the teams. I had a young man come up to me at the tournament, last tournament we had on Toledo Bend, and the passion in his voice over what he had to tell me was pretty stern, okay? And I've had lots of kids. They don't have their parents call me. They call me and tell me, we got to do something about this. We got to do something about this, because how can we compete with a team that has 3 boats going out during a week and scouting for them? You know, it's hard. So I hope y'all think this is fair. I mean, if it's not fair, if you don't think it's fair, you got to ask yourself why. But we're doing this for your team, so your team can compete. Your team can compete. And you don't have to go out and fish against somebody who has had 3 boats out there eliminating water. If you're like I was as a captain, you have Friday. One time I got Thursday to go out and scout because my son had a day off, and I never went scouting without my son. My son was always in the boat with me, and he had an extra day off, so we went to Toledo Bend one day early, okay? And that's what we did. And so that's how it is. Do I need to go back over this one more time for everybody so you understand the deal? Because we're not doing this to piss anybody off. We're doing this because we feel like it's the right thing to do. It's the ethical thing to do. And, you know, I don't know what else to say about that. But, you know, I've heard all kinds of stuff being said. And I've seen all kinds of stuff being said. I've seen texts. I've seen all kinds of stuff. And I really don't care, because I care about these kids more than I care about anything else, okay? And giving them the best experience they can have. We have built this thing. We doubled Red River over last year, folks. We doubled it. Now, we were starting to lose some teams. We had teams coming in, but we were also losing teams because they felt like they couldn't compete against these same situations. So anybody, just tell me, yes, no. Do you want me to go over this rule in depth one more time? Or do you have a question about this rule? I'll be glad to answer it and be very open, because I guess it's not as black and white as we thought it was. Yeah, the weather is much better than last year. And the fishing on the Red River this time of year, we actually tried to fish the Red River this time last year, and it just didn't happen. So, you know, because of hurricanes again. So, you know, I think the Red River it should be primed and ready. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about all the teams that are going to show up. You know, that's what I keep in the back of my mind all the time. That's what I keep in my mind. Let's see. Some people are, all right, Derek Thomas. Great, real good call. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Think this is great. Keeps it fair across the board. And that's what I don't understand, how somebody thinks it's not fair. Unless you want to go out and that's how you want to scout, is you want to get your information for somebody else. I can't see it. I mean, we're still letting them fish on the weekend with both captains. I mean, you know, I'm not sure why that is even a deal. You know, I mean, once again, I am going to go over it one more time, because there's some that just came on here. The rule states on the day that the information off limits starts, from that day forward, the captain can fish every day. The anglers can fish every day. Okay? Now, the addition to that is on Saturday and Sunday before the tournament. Both captains can fish as long as they have one angler in their boat. That means they can take 2 boats if they want to, okay? So you can have 2 boats with 2 captains in separate boats and 2 anglers in separate boats, as long as you both have one angler in your boat with you. And you know what that's for? That's so you don't leave them at home. That's what it's for. Because if we make you have an angler in your boat, you're forced to take that angler with you. I understand they may have some other stuff coming up, but you're just going to have to worry about that because you were going to worry about that anyway. Okay? You were going to worry about that. But still, on that Saturday and Sunday, the original captain who's going to fish with them can fish. So he doesn't have to have an angler in the boat with him because he's registered. Let's see here. I can't. Yeah, okay, so a lot of people thought it was too long, but the problem, okay, so we thought about 7 days, and I'm glad we're having a conversation here. We thought about 7 days, but then we said, okay, well, 7 days, and then we were going to give the anglers and both captains a chance to fish the weekend before, so that cuts it down to 5 days, and, so they could go out with a guide the weekend before too, so that's why we made it 10, okay? That's why we made it 10. We talked about 14 at first, and then somebody said 7 on the board, and then we said, okay, we'll split the difference. And that gives you a few days before. We feel like 10 days, the fishery has a chance to kind of change itself out a little bit. Weather changes, and some people say in a day it'll do that, and that's true. It's true. But a lot of times, it is what it is. So during the week of the tournament, from Monday through Friday, the captain who's registered can fish alone. Okay, so that's fair, as long as he doesn't get information from somebody else. The anglers can fish with the captain that week. Okay, the anglers can be in the boat with him. If they get a day off from school, they get to go. You can't be in there with a second captain, the secondary captain that week, and there's once again a reason for that. We don't want 2 boats going out and scouting for one team, because 90% of our teams or more only have 1 boat and only get 1 day to pre-fish. And we are losing teams because people think they can't compete because they're only getting 1 day. My vacation time is so minuscule that I hardly ever got vacation time. So if I got 1 day, I was lucky to pre-fish. So, and I'm not basing this off at me the whole time, but I was in the game too. I was where y'all are at, and I saw all these things happen, and we did it by the book, and most of the people that I was around did it by the book. So, y'all have asked, and everybody's begged, and I've had conversations with young people begging me to do something to make this where it's more ethical and there's integrity in this organization. Parents have talked to me. So this is it, folks. This is what we got. I know some people want to sit there and threaten they're going to go fish somewhere else. All I can tell you is this is all going to calm down, and we're all going to be okay. And everybody's going to obey the rule. Every time a rule comes in, that's how it is. Tournaments require off limits. And we're going to be just like the rest. We're going to make this an even playing field. Hopefully y'all like it. I hope y'all like it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. If you don't, put a frowny face. I don't, whatever you want to do. That's fine. But any more questions?